Okay, so the next thing we're going to get into is the web browsing. So first off, web browsing on both of these phones is WebKit based. So no matter which of these phones you choose to get in the end, if you even choose to get any of these two phones, your web browsing experience is going to be very, very rich. But there are some differences you do need to know about, and depending on your personal preferences, you decide. So for this one, I'm going to show you the Moments web browsing first. So let's launch the browser. So you're taking a Sprint's Power Deck by default. And we're going to open up the same page on both of these browsers so you can see. So you press menu. You go to Go. And then you go type away. So for this, we're going to go to phonedog.com. So while this loads up, let me explain to you a couple things. This is a stock Android browser. HTC has their own custom one built into the Hero, so there are some minor differences. This is loading up over FDREV on Sprint's 3G network, which is pretty zippy to say the least. I mean, look at that. It's almost done, and PhoneDog is a very, very rich JavaScript, Flash, you name it, it's on there. Loads of text, loads of images. As you can see, it even loads up with an advertisement when you first go on there. So you have to actually go to continue to PhoneDog, which is very true to what happens on your desktop. So that's good to see that this happens right away. So now we're taken into the actual site. And while we're doing that, I'm going to come over here to the Hero and load up PhoneDog from my bookmarks. The Hero, I have it connected to my Wi-Fi network. So when this loads up a little quicker, don't be like, whoa. Just that. I'm not going to compare loading times on both phones or anything like that, because really it's the same. It's the same 3G network on both of these phones. If this was connected to my Wi-Fi router, it'd be the same exact thing. The processor speed does help out a little bit on the Moment side, but it's not significant enough for me to get into that. Okay, so by default, the Moment displays it kind of zoomed in, so let me zoom out. To zoom out, you have to use these little buttons here. Just so you can see that. Let me bring those back up. You see? So to zoom out, I gotta zoom out. Zoom out. And then when I press this little 1X, I'm taken back to whatever the stock default view of the page is. Okay, then if you press this, you have this little, this is very nifty. This I wish was on the Hero. Oh, it's not on there. If you just press this and drag around the web page, it's like a little magnifying glass. You get to find a particular part of the page you want to home in on, and let's say, oh, this catches my eye here. Something about the HTC Eris. And then you zoomed in on that part of the page. That's a very nifty little feature that comes on the stock browser. Okay, so let's check out a little bit of the Heroes. So also on the Hero, by default, you're taken into the stock, into a zoomed in view. Also on the Hero, you can notice that there is nothing on this page except for the actual website. There's no zoom out, zoom in, 1X, little magnifying glass thing on there. There's nothing for a status bar as well. You can see here, even when you're in the website, you have a status bar up there. And so you might be asking yourself, well, how do you control that? How do you zoom out? How do you zoom in? Well, my friends, nifty thing about the Hero is the pinch to zoom. Very intuitive, very nice, works exceptionally well, and there's a little stuff I have to do on every phone I play with the browser. On some slower phones or phones that don't have such a good web browser, you get that little checkerboard pattern when you move around really quickly on the page. Doesn't happen on the Hero. Let's see on the Moment. Doesn't happen on the Moment either. And I wouldn't expect it to on the Moment due to the very fast processor that it carries. But so you do see right off the bat there are some differences. So on the Moment you see you still have full access to your status bar. So you're in the web browser, you're doing your thing, you're reading up on something, you're using your little magnifying glass to look around the page, and then you get a text message from your mom and you want to dig into it. So it works very well, exceptionally well. On the Hero, you're doing your thing, you're moving around the page, you have a more rich experience browsing it because you have no controls here like bugging you. The full screen is used for the real estate of the web page. You want to pinch to zoom, you want to get out of here, you want to you want to double tap, you can still do it. Size refits everything. Also works exceptionally well. But let's say you do get a text message. There's no drop down anything. What you actually have to do, even when you press menu, there's no drop down. You have to go into bookmarks to get your notifications bar, or just out of the web browser completely. I don't like that. I wish the Hero's browser, while it's very capable and it works exceptionally well, I wish it had the same functionality that the stock Android browser did. You know? I mean, yeah, it does kind of suck having these buttons on there most of the time, taking up your blocking out images and everything. But you know, they serve a function. I mean, that's how you zoom in and out. And I gotta say, I love this little freaking the little magnifying glass thing. But the most important thing is that you still have full access to your notifications bar, which is very important, which is the whole point of Android, is that you multitask and do different things at once. So for the web browser, I have to say, by a hair, I had to give it to the Samsung Moment. Just because, while it's not as flashier, it doesn't look as good, it doesn't have pinch to zoom, it's not a richer experience than the HTC Heroes is. It has more functionality. It retains all the Android-esque features of the phone. I mean, you can still multitask with this. You can still go into here and go into your text messages and everything. So really, if the HTC Hero at least had the ability to, while you're in the browser, browsing your page, bring down the status bar, then I would give it to the Hero, because pinch to zoom is a very, very good thing to have on the phone, and if you don't have it, you're kind of back in the day, or you're kind of old school because of it. But you know, even without it, the stock Android browser retains its functionality, and it works exceptionally well. And sometimes you don't even need it. I mean, you got this little magnifying thing. That's so awesome. I gotta tell you how much I like that. So that's my take on the browser. Other things I might have not mentioned, the HTC Heroes does support Flash out of the box, but not to an extent you would think. It's usually mostly YouTube videos and Flash animations and stuff like that. But you know, it's nice to have. Both of these phones support multiple windows, so you see new window, and you can switch in between windows. And yeah, so just out of the box, you have a little more richer experience with the Hero. There's not that much you have to do to customize it or set anything up with the browser. You have bookmark widgets. It's very, very good, intuitive. You have pinch to zoom. But for the geeky nerd inside of you that wants to retain the functionality of it, I like this browser better. I'm not sure as of yet if there's a way to put the stock Android browser on here. I'm sure there is. I know that when I'm like in the what is it, the Shazam application? No, with the Shopsiri application, and you're taken to a link, it goes into the stock browser. But I don't know how to open it out of the box. But you know what? I'm not gonna mess with it. It's not, the HTC Hero stock browser is good enough to stand on its own 2 feet. It's just a few little things I wish I had that it doesn't.